mid, and we'll get the drop onto Sicko. I thought for a moment he may peek out a little bit too early. And there's a second one as well. Finally, Grayhound get themselves a solid buy, and it seems to be slipping away.
Tunnels early here from now. Foxic being the one leading it, finds the kill. He's going to keep pushing forward. He's going to get past this Incendiary. Malto's in a lot of trouble, and he's gone, and now you have to feel Grayhound to save. No way you're getting back into this.
I hit the one with the head, as did that HE, by all accounts. Carrigan got wrecked by it. Dick Stacy Malta. This is better. Grayhound, he has no smoke for the cross, though, so he should be caught when he goes across, because Sicko does have an AWP trained in on it. Not going to be required, potentially. Inns does go for the peak. There's a molly kill on Dexter, but no problem. Grayhound, welcome to the scoreboard.
What that means, you're all kind of funneling from one direction, as long as it's controlled by mousesports. That's the only real problem with it. We do have Voxic finding a pick on the Dick States. It's going to keep those A players all in place, by the way. It means Malta will again be all alone, and soon he'll be quivering in his boots because mousesports are on their way through tunnels.
Yeah, it's going to be a flash preceding the push as well. Carrigan turns his head with a flashbang out. Already dinked behind the boxes and finalized. Now going to be coming in, but this is also where Voxic can start to be a real pain in the backside on Grayhound. Is it going to be one round and done? A one pump chump from Grayhound here.
I can't believe you just...
It's been a long day. The kill, because Inns is going to have to move out into the open. As it stands, they've got 3 players watching this. This could get really shady, really fast. Dick Stacy peeks without Sicko behind him. That was their chance to maybe get an avenging kill. That Molotov's way too deep. But Chris J buries a couple of bullets deep in the skulls of Inns and Sicko. Malta and Dexter, not for the first time, having to try and salvage something out of the round. And in all honesty, probably exit frags. I mean, Dexter, to be fair, can't really get away. Maybe he can just fight his way out. That is another possibility. Okay, Dexter, calm down.
Be able to get a shot in. It's just going to be guesswork. And oh, Malta hits him in the head! That is just pure luck. It's plain and simple, but it'll work nonetheless. It's now a 2-on-1. Voxic in so much trouble.
I'm a little bit speechless. I can't believe it's even in this position in the first place. Voxic has already picked up a 1v2.
Don't tell me he's going to do it. Don't tell me he's going to do it.
In this game, there's 10 seconds left, us. There's so many things working against him. He's backing away. He's waiting to find an angle, some aggression to go into. And there's Dexter, Grayhound. They pull the rabbit out the hat. They go full Houdini on mousesports. Towards the back of the site. Here comes Chris J. Catching Malta. I think he was throwing a grenade into mid. Dexter is going to answer back. Going to trade to the SG. Realizing that he is surrounded by T's. One of which is perched up on the window. He's actually traded places now. He's up on the boxes. Still alive. Still close enough to make them sweat this out, mousesports. He decides to push in. This is such an aggressive play. I love it. Unfortunately, it may end up backfiring. And it has. But A for effort there, Dexter. Love to see plays like that. Unfortunately, though, his team's still going to concede the round.
It's just like,
don't we all?
Why are they not doing it? It's like, hey, why don't you tell them to do that? Nah, you'd rather just rage about it on stream. Not say anything.
Well, last round of the half to get back on track is going to see Carrigan.
I can understand why you want to skate out of that conversation, but you know, we'll do it. We'll get into this. There's going to be a fast cat attack here from mousesports. It looks like, though, they do hold up. Net Incendiary will slow them down as well.
It will. Absolutely. With them already losing Carrigan and Frozen being low, maybe, hold on, it was 12-2. Then Grayhound got 12-3 against Liquid. I'm just saying. I'm putting it all together here. mousesports, can they go one better than the best team in the world against Greyhound? On a different map, but there's a molly to Goose. Gonna force out Inns. That surely is going to spread a little bit further. There's a smoke being deployed. HE out, and there's Frozen as well, calling it perfectly. Sicko, though, returns fire. Now Rops, it's his moment to push out, catches Dick Stacy in the back. So much pressure on Sicko. And he's not going to be able to pass. Frozen deals the fatal damage with a headshot with the AWP. Plenty of time for the bomb. They don't have to rush into anything. And Malta and Dexter only have a flash apiece to get back on the site with. Rops has this locked down with his shield, does he? Dexter swiveling round the corner, trying the jumping shot. And it is going to be 13-2. Maybe the patterns weren't there after all. Here comes the play. It's going to be fast and frenetic, and Voxic, the vanguard of A, is putting bullets down range and landing headshots all over the place. The bomb's gone down. Oh, there's the third. Voxic turning it on. Well, it's a bit of a massacre, isn't it, Dust? There's not much to say here.
Yep.
Me trying to charge back outside the tunnels, keeping the dreams alive. Maybe if mousesports overcommit, there's a way back in for Grayhound, but you better believe under Carrigan's leadership, they are not going to let that happen. Did you have a smoke? Could maybe cross the mid. Nope, frozen. Okay, rip.
I know. I like how you're trying to find a way back into this round.
I really am.
Not there. I mean, it's just really not.
Really am.
They're just wandering around like lost children. They are making some pretty good headway up long indeed. But there's 2 on Cat, 1 at Cross already, 1 on the site. They all have SMGs up close. Pot Flash comes through. Rock's good for 1 as well. Dexter at least able to trade it back.
Carrigan situated on the site with the MP9. Sprays in, riddles his head with bullets. Molotov frag onto Dexter. Here comes Frozen. Leaving Sicko 1-on-4 with the scout. He's tanked 1 player and a second. They're getting in that range, but Frozen with a CZ is going to put this map to rest. CT side as a result of Greyhound's pick. That's also going to be a bit of an issue. Voxic, who picked up so many pistol rounds in the prior 2 pistols, just flicks across and connects onto Dick Stacy. He may not be done just yet. His battery is still fully charged. And Malta last to fall. Voxic with another 4K in the pistol round.
Pretty much just have to go for 1 good shot. Rop's trying to get a little bit aggressive there on the window. Is going to be punished for it. Looks like Voxic's trying to come back and do the same thing. Maybe just, you know, feeling themselves a little bit. Greyhound in good shape.
They are, even though Dick Stacy was flashed, he did a ton of damage to Chris J. Molotov on the balcony. Carrigan's holding the line. Finally, though, the terrorists will be able to swarm him enough to pick his bones. Chris J and Frozen. Last 2 remaining CTs. Frozen's already capitalized with a quick fire kill into Malta, who was around mid. Chris J through the smoke. They still have a flash, a smoke, and a grenade to play with. Smoke going to be put down onto the site to block off Pit. Also, on the graveyard, they know now that Inns is last seen in the pit, and there is Frozen. This time, Greyhound not opting to try and push up Banana, and this is going to give mousesports the opportunity to just sit in position. Carrigan's going to get pushed. He was caught with a nade out. It's surprising he even got a kill from that. Plus, with dropping the nade, Malta and Inns are so very low. But it is a 3-on-3, one of the best chances Greyhound have had so far in Inferno.
Bomb's been delayed, though, Vince. This has given a lot of time for Frozen to get into the T side of middle and cut this off, and then begin to maybe work his way forward. Even lurking around beside them, catches the headshot on Inns.
Time, not really an issue. It's more the 2 counter-terrorists that are starting to force their way around Shorts and Archers, respectively. Malta, 7 HP. If he peeks, he's dead. Did a bit of damage, more so than I was expecting. Sicko doesn't have the AWP, has the AK. There's the first kill, able to dart back. This is now very much a winnable round for Greyhound. They need Sicko to stand his ground, and there is the headshot. Molly into apps. Not that's going to do a great deal, but mousesports did show that they have no problems being aggressive. And they pushed 2 players in there, both Rops and Voxic, and Sicko is burning alive, burning to a crisp. He's going to go down. At least he trades onto Frozen beforehand.
Really sniff Carrigan out, and they did spot the player inside pit as well. They know for sure now about Carrigan because of the smoke grenade. Carrigan trying to get the hell out. He does indeed get that M4 in his hands and avoid death for now.
How long is he going to delay it for? He's doing such a good job of stalling Greyhound and making him focus on his position. Now Frozen can turn his attention towards the library where Inns is coming in. That rotation's going to do them no good. Carrigan, finally, the hero of Pit, has been dealt with, and now Frozen keeps going back in. He's picked up 3 in the round. It could be a 4th, and it will.
Which could have been a huge backstab opportunity for Greyhound. And then he finishes off with the quad kill, so...
The B side here, Dust. They got Chris J and Frozen that are laid in wait. Chris J maybe going aggressively, throwing the flashbang out. Gonna be peeking behind it, but none of the Greyhound members have already pushed up. Now the smoke is down, and let the battle commence. Chris J
Surely they check this corner. Surely they don't just walk right by. They do. Kerrigan gets a chance, but he's only good for one. It still helps out at least Rops a little bit. Now it's up to him.
All down to the young Estonian. On the back of the site from the graveyard. He will be putting bodies down, but he himself will be falling. Now Chris J, Mr. mousesports himself, flashbang over, Sicko Deagle in hand. Gonna try and repel this push, stop it from coming into fruition, and Sicko gonna connect with the Deagle. Grayhound with a second round.
They still have a lot to work with in this push up middle. It's so quick, Voxic not expecting it. Rop's able to battle one back, but he's still in a lot of trouble.
Yep, needs these extra counter-terrorists here. Well, he needs them there yesterday, really. Dexter is going to put a stop to Carrigan's rotation. Rop's playing up close in the smoke, realizing he has to take a risk, has to take a gamble. He is stuck now, though, in the alcove. Chris J comes in. There's a player in the library. If Rop's commits to it, he will be shot in the back. Can hear the bomb being planted down. Dexter has been spotted. No! Chris J, or pardon me, Rop's misses out on that chance. Going to play a bit more passively this time. Don't want to catch any nades, but they're going to mix up the pace. They're going to be pushing straight up arches. Dick Stacy takes the point of the spear of the attack, but it's been dulled and dwindled away by Carrigan's brilliance. 2 kills to him. mousesports seemingly awakening. Inns tries he might to flick across for the second headshot.
Big deal.
What can Sicko get done? Not much if he keeps getting spammed up through the smoke. About to get peeked from Rops as well. His days are numbered. 4 players left alive. mousesports trying to salvage a lead going through into the second half.
Look at this push, though. Kerrigan gets absolutely busted. It does not pan out whatsoever.
Flash is being exchanged. It is going to stall and stymie the push a little bit, but now nades being tossed behind Dick Stacy. There's the headshot. Crisp crosshair placement. 2 players fall, both on the side of the CTs. Frozen nearly gets spammed up through the smoke. It's going to put even more pressure on him. And additionally, Voxic, who's moved in position on Speedway. He is currently watching arches. Oh no, Grayhound are moving in. Rops going to be caught, but if Voxic holds his position, he's actually moved away slightly. He could maybe get a player on the cross, which would be Dexter. And Dexter's already read the situation perfectly. He's actually trying to one-tap it around the corner. Wasn't too far off. It's hard to fathom a way in which it could. All the pieces of the puzzle will have to come into place. Some big errors as well from Grayhound, which will not allow it to happen. There was a molly kill in the mix of it, but doesn't make a difference. 8-7 lead.
That Mouse can hope for. They have no idea what they're up against yet.
Malta using quad as his sanctuary. Also maybe going to try and bait in Dick Stacy, who doesn't need it. But now Voxic and Frozen. Voxic, who's picked up 4Ks time and time again in pistol rounds, has got 2 more in this one. It could be a third unless Sicko's careful. His head is very vulnerable over the box. Voxic turns around, lands the Glock onto Dexter, and he has control of the bomb.
I'm not sure if there's one down somewhere, but yeah.
No, there isn't. They didn't have a kit starting off in this round, so he's going to have to smoke onto the site. Maybe tap it, try and draw out. Voxic into the open. He's going to tap it out on here. Getting tagged, sticking to it now. Voxic is missing a lot of Glock bullets. Not like this, Voxic. Not like this. There's 3 seconds to go. He's still spamming through the smoke. There's not enough bullets connecting. And how the hell has Sicko full 10-second defuse in the smoke? What have I just witnessed? Again, it's about 50 damage has been inflicted by HEs early on, charging up Banana. Voxic around the corner. There's the 1 kill. Dexter caught with a nade out, assuming the Molotov would have spread far enough to cover his tracks. Wasn't the case. He's been hunted.
4-on-4 pretty early on here. Malta making it. Even Malta has kind of drifted out of there. It's really just mostly Sicko on the site with an AWP, but that's going to be more than enough as he takes down Rops.
So many times Sicko delivers in these situations, and Malta alongside him. Lock it down.
A couple of rounds where Grayhound survived with all 5, a couple with 4 players surviving. Last time was the closest where only 3 survived. But that's still a hell of a lot. And now Dexter has the opening kill into this one and another.
Oh, solid flick for Voxic, though. Flashbang assist on Carrigan. He's long gone. Molotov was tossed in middle. Smoke tried to defuse it, but now Dick Stacy from the bottom of Banana. Gonna trade out. Bomb's been dropped. Drops SG in hand. About to be smoked out, but decides to push past it. There's a flashbang in. It doesn't work, and there's a double spray. The flash completely misses its mark.
Blame them again in rounds like this when you have such limited resources. You kind of have to roll the dice, note for the best. Unfortunately, it's going to be Snake Eyes because Dexter is about to get splurged on by 5 different players. He does at least get 1 kill somehow. He's buying a little bit of extra time for this banana flank to set in, but he does go down.
Dick Stacy straight through with the M4, though, and they're going to catch Frozen completely off guard. Rob's just about holds on. Is able to escape on 4 HP. This Molotov, though, could kill him. It's going to bank off the top and land right next to me. Just started out there in the nick of time. And now Chris J with his SG is tapping heads. There's another one, and there's a 3rd in a row. Voxic chips in with the 2nd. Now the other smoke's being flung on CT side. Molotov's coming into fruition. Nade's going to be following it up. There's another smoke. Well-placed flashbang. Blinds in, but the smokes are doing so much work. They've kept mousesports behind the smoke. That's such a huge moment in this round, in this map potentially. Damage inflicted to Rops. He didn't push past them. He needs Frozen or Voxic to go in first and try and take some entries. But they're waiting. They're not giving it away completely yet.
They want to force Grayhound to respect A. They want to see if they can't cause a rotation. Obviously, Grayhound will keep 3 towards B, 2 inside the site, 1 towards Coffins. No utility left for mousesports to use. They just have to walk out and hope that their aim can lead them through. They have plenty of that, but so does Grayhound, and they have great positions all across the board. The high-low right here from Second Oranges from Ensign Dexter and Dick Stacy.
If not, maybe, just maybe, mousesports can take us to overtime. Or not. Dexter, there's no smoke. There's 3 kills for him. He can't quite get both, but 1 headshot onto Chris J plus a kill should be enough. It is forcing mousesports' hand to try and just desperately get onto the site. Sicko in close proximity. There's a no-scope onto Chris J, and the bomb goes sprawling out into the open. Rops gonna try and cling back onto this with his SG. Sicko is dodging bullets. They're not able to get a wide peek onto him. And now the smoke is cleared. There's another one. 3 kills in the round for Sicko. And Dick Stacy is going to take us to Mirage. But Sicko take a bow. That is one hell of a performance. See how Grayhound decides to set up. Most of the mousesports heading towards Ramp and Palace. Haven't quite pulled the trigger yet to have the 2 smokes. One's going to be heading, I assume, towards the staircase, and 1 on jungle. Try and block off that side and focus on the CT side. Nades are going over there. In's hiding in. The smoke does take a little bit of damage. More of a love tap than anything else, but now he's been finished off. The P250 from Rops will be his demise. Voxic gets flashed, but still comes out with 2 kills. How is that a possibility? How has that just happened? He was fully flashed. And just flicks across the both of them.
I don't know.
His killing streak comes to an end, though.
Yeah. But he's done so much for his team. He's gotten them into a very winnable 3 versus 2.
Yeah, as they still have the bomb planted, though, for default. 2 players are going to be taken away from this. This bomb's not planted for them, but on the cross, maybe they can deal with Sicko, who is the kit wielder. Malta with 1. But again, Voxic and pistol rounds, there is something special about that combination.
We're going to see a pretty fast take up the A ramp here from mousesports, picking up the pace a little bit here in the opening rifle round. Sicko does draw first blood on the Kerrigan, but mousesports at least able to make their way up to Tetris. They also still have presence in Palace. Frozen still holding the back of mid.
Chris Shea faking the bomb, trying to drop some of these CTs. They're already 1 player down. They don't want to extend that to 2. In's up, and that's exactly what's happened. He's been tagged down to 5. He is the kit wielder. Taps across from Voxic. Here comes Frozen. Turning this back around in their favor, potentially. There's a smoke down and connector that affords Frozen the opportunity to just relocate slightly. Malta is down there waiting for a chance to strike. And in the meanwhile, Chris Shea chips in with his SG. Suddenly, somehow this round has got out of control for Grayhound. It looked as though they had this under wraps pretty comfortably when Inns went in to start things off. Frozen almost baiting Chris J. Malta never expected the second player to be there.
It is, but it is also true that it started this way on Inferno. I think mousesports were up 5-1 or something like that. 2 players on site. Inns not too far behind.
Already hopping down with flashbangs accompanying them. Malta and Dick Stacy, but there's Voxic with his AWP. He's chipped in with 2, and he's going to have to get the full ace and a 1v3 clutch if mousesports aren't going to concede their first round. A quick scope, point-blank range, going to deal with him. Sicko doesn't take the shot on the cross. Voxic a little bit fortunate to get away with that. And he may have an idea as to where both players are now. 7 seconds to go, going for the plant. Sicko around the corner. And the aggression is going to reap the round. Plenty of smokes in mid to hide behind on both sides of the coin. Inns in connectors, not far off, but walks into the shot. Oh, Voxic had a few pot shots in the exact same position.
Oh, man.
There's the instant counteraction, though.
Yep. Malta finding it. Aggression on the A ramp from Dexter. Kerrigan will gladly take that opportunity away. Rops now coming out of the palace.
No.
What happened to Kerrigan? Did it not extinguish all the way?
He threw it on the corner, so it was still mainly up there.
Oh, no.
Oh, that is actually like a 1G.
Tragic scenes. Things to suit with it. Seems like A is going to be the target eventually, but for right now, they want to catch any B apps aggression or any type of push mid. And indeed, Chris J will catch underpass. Something like that. It's going to be further, and that's even going to further keep them bitten on this A bomb site. When Voxic has an AWP, you're not expecting a lurking op, if that makes any sense. You know, you expect the bomb to be with that guy. And so now, even because of that, Malta gambling, it's a 3-on-5. You have to gamble in this situation. This is going to just further unlock these for mousesports. These kills do break out on A ramp, but the task has already been complete. It's going to be a post plant on this B bomb site. It's so hard to retake this site, Vince. But they do have kits on everyone and some utility, so it is a chance.
That has slightly depleted and deflated as a result of Inns's
Carolina Berlin Major. It's Rops, then maybe that gives them the way back into this round. Inns might be the one to do it, however. He picks up the fallen AWP and finds a frag on Kerrigan.
Oh, the bomb's going in first, though, from Chris J. That's a horrible spot to drop the bomb. Smoke's now going to be deployed. Frozen nearly catches a stray bullet. There you go. Again, the bombing first is just so rough. And
yeah,
Rops,
that's the type of sloppy plays that you normally shouldn't really be falling into. Their aim. Dick Stacy, though, in this close angle, it's not going to get Molotov. Chris J following the deeper side, so Dick Stacy could be a huge, huge problem, Vince.
And Grayhound again, having to cut their losses just after getting a win.
And now we see a Palace push. Rops seems to be set up well to take care of it. There it is.
In favor of mousesports, it's not looking like Grayhound can muster much of a comeback. Sicko, flick across, beautiful headshot onto Chris J. Dick Stacy using the gap between the smokes to try and pot as many heads as he possibly can. Sicko's gone down. Voxic is looking, and with the second, they actually land the last 2 kills. The question, because I know what the answer will be, Dust, but here we go. Grayhound forcing onto the site. Voxic at range. Sicko actually flicking across to his teammates. Not sure they'll be too happy about that. But they have pushed mousesports far enough back to get up in the face. A Gooch actually delivered onto Dick Stacy by Inns' hands. Flashbang onto Kerrigan. He's going to just back away with his USP and let them come to him. 1 kill goes his way, but that's going to be all she wrote. And now the rest of his team are barreling down on the site. Frozen and Chris J exchanging headshots. Dick Stacy and Dexter are so very low. Dexter is lining them up, but he's a one-man apocalypse for mousesports. Glock headshots all day. Certainly packs a big punch with the gun, and so does Rops. Not to be overshadowed.
I think mousesports is the best eco team in the world. I'm just going to say it. Their deagles are so nasty across the board.
Oh, Rops, calm down. Don't do it to the... They're already on the floor, they're hurting. He wants to finish this off quick. There's a lot of damage being inflicted on the approach. Dick Stacy and Sicko both licking their wounds. And Rops, who's already got 2, is going to add a 3rd to his collection.
Oh,
No
my, they have
4th.
families.
A sole AK-47 for Dick Stacy as he moves across the CT boxes. There's the kill they were looking for. This is what they can execute off. Rops is going to pick up the AWP and says, nah, let's just go back to the AK. That's not working out for me. He needs to. It's still there for him. Flashbangs to CT boxes now. Smoke in the eyes. Chris J goes aggro. That's to his death. And now Dexter with a deagle is trying to hold it down from Palace. Maybe this isn't over just yet. Rops, though, is carving out some heads. He's carving out a chance for mousesports to get back on the site. This is where the lack of nades is going to start to hurt Grayhound, though. They don't have any flashes or smokes to deal with the push, but Dick Stacy is still putting down frags with the AK-47. mousesports trying to get back onto the site and pillage this. Frozen just double-checking to make sure no one's chilling in mid with his plants. Frozen has been winged on the approach from Dexter. Rops still tapping, still finding headshots. Bomb is dwindling away in the smoke. It's gonna light them up and knocks them both down. And Grayhound are just about hanging on. mousesports won't be sweating it too hard just yet. It always seems like that double-digit mark where teams will start to look over their shoulder a little bit.
Yep.
There's a long way between now and then. Chris Shado encircled, sandwiched by terrorists. If he doesn't get picked off by Dick Stacy, there was Malta coming up from on the underpass. And Rops pull out the magic deagle again. Only the one time. Frozen, interestingly, is actually pushing in with the AWP. You'd expect that maybe they want to hold on to this, and that's why. He's got 2 kills. The bomb's been dropped. Grayhound, this is a round you simply had to get. If you don't, there's going to be 10 match points. 10 elimination points if you're Grayhound. Facing off against you, here's the CZ Carrigan from the wings of Jungle is going to pounce with 2. The heartbreak has become a reality. mousesports had no right to even get close to winning that round. Not too much left then. mousesports, though, with Rops in middle on the window. And Dexter has been put down with authority. Chris J's AWP will do the work for mousesports. They have equalized at least, but the player behind them, Malta, who's been getting around the back of window, is the next to be dispatched. It ends in a 1 versus 4. Desert Eagle, now an SG. So he's upgraded his weaponry at least and may have the drop onto Voxic, who's round the corner. There's the headshot. Does have the bomb, so he could fake either of these sites with this much time left. As far as 1v3s go, this is at least in the realms of possibility, but Chris J has it. Chris J has it. And mousesports now have a place in the playoffs.